1, judge not that ye be not judged. You can't judge me. Well, before we make that assumption and make that statement, let's consider a few things. Just looking at the verse, it tells us further on, it says, in verse number 4, how wilt thou say to thy brother, let me pull out the mote out of thy own eye, and behold, a beam is in thy own eye? Thou hypocrite, first cast out the beam out thine own eye, and then thou shalt see clearly to cast the mote out of thy brother's eye. Hey, he's telling us right there, sometimes you do have to make a judgment. Consider this. God instructs us in Psalms chapter 1, verse 1, blessed is the man that walketh not in the counsel of the ungodly, nor standeth in the way of sinners, nor sitteth in the seat of the scornful. For his delight is in the law of the Lord, and his law does he meditate day and night. We are instructed not to walk in the counsel of the ungodly, or standeth in the way of a sinner, or sitteth with the seat of the scornful. How in the world can we follow that commandment from God if we don't make a judgment call? Here's something else to consider. The New Testament tells us not to keep company with a brother that's a fornicator. No, not even eat with him. Again, we have to make a judgment call in order to see, hey, they're living a life of fornication. Don't keep company with them. Don't mean you can't love them. Don't mean you can't pray for them. Don't mean you can't speak to them. But as far as having them in your circle, communing with them, eating with them, no, the Bible tells us not to do that. Here's one that's a little more down to earth. You still think, oh, you can't judge, you can't judge. Consider this. A man is a known, convicted, documented child molester. These are big facts about him. Now, are you going to leave your children alone with him? Absolutely not. You have to make a what? Judgment call in order to do that. But I really want to talk about another verse, and it's 1 Corinthians chapter 11, verse 31. Consider this. For if we would judge ourselves, we would not be judged. Now, in the text, it's specifically talking about the Lord's Supper, that we have to examine ourselves before we partake in the bread and in the wine of the communion with God. But an application of that is this. If we would judge ourselves, we would not be judged. If we would examine our lives, how we speak, how we act, how we treat people, the love or the lack thereof we have for others, our sinful activities and behaviors, if we judge ourselves and deal with it, then others certainly would not judge us. So I think there's just a practical application for that. It's for, hey, check yourself. I need to check myself. And then you wouldn't have to worry about anybody